So the Cleveland Browns have been a little busier than I think we thought, which is a good thing. But what is their best move? I think that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Couple of things. Bleacher Report did an article on it. We're going to talk about what their best move was, and then we're going to break down the implications of that move because it's a layered move. So we are absolutely going to talk about that. Before we do that, hey, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. Hey, you see the background. There's a lot of teams. We're from Michigan. We're Detroit fans, but we started a channel because we wanted to cover teams that the national media kind of ignores. Browns fans, Lions fans, we get each other. So we wanted to start doing this. We mostly cover Browns and Texans on this, but we want to be your go-to spot for Browns content. If you want that to happen too, please subscribe to this channel. We would love to have you. All right, let's get going on it, and we'll start with the article itself. And for the Browns, they are saying that trading the 5th and 6th round picks for wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was the best move that they made of the off season. All right? They say it really well in the very first sentence on this. For the past 2 years, the Cleveland Browns have tried to find a reliable number 2 wide receiver to complement Amari Cooper. They drafted David Bell, Cedric Tillman, okay? They acquired Elijah Moore, and now they're saying, you know what? We're going to go out and we're going to get someone that was an elite talent when they were being drafted, all right? Moore had a decent first year. I agree to that, but we're going to look at some more stuff with Moore that I think helps me realize that maybe he's not as good as you want him to be. And I think also he can be a great third wide receiver. And I like to do stuff and back it up with stats. So don't worry, we'll do that. Jerry Jeudy was a 2020 first rounder. Could be an immediate upgrade. I get that. Racked up at least 758 receiving yards in three of his four pro seasons. At 6'1", he really does have the ability to be a better outside receiver. So complete opposite of Amari Cooper. If you have 2 wide receivers, it's those 2. Now, the Browns did sign him to a 3-year, $58 million extension. That's heavy. That is heavy. However, that's not quite the whole story because next year, his cap hit is $3.5 million. All right, so at least that's what it says based on Spotrac. I don't know if that's what it's going to continue to be because they traded him off the back end of his rookie deal, so they have to pay the required money, not us, they being the Broncos. So let's talk about Jerry Jeudy and what you're getting in him. All right, first off, what you gave up, pick number 135 and 202, at least that's what it's saying according to The Athletic. Not a lot. Okay, that's good. No problem with that. But what kind of production are you getting out of Jerry Jeudy? His best season came in 2022. In 2022, he had 100 targets, 68 receptions. So luckily, because it's out of 100 targets, I can really quickly say it was 68% completion percentage being thrown to him. He was 13 yards shy of 1,000, and he had 6 touchdowns. All right, the passer rating when targeted that season was 111.5. That's fantastic. I like this stat. Now, does it rely on the quarterback? Of course it does. But I like looking at the stat of passer rating when targeted to find out, can you be an elite player? That was his best year. Last year, he had 54 catches on 84 targets for 758 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had a passer rating when targeted of 86.3. Let's take that in comparison to Elijah Moore, who is targeted 98 times. That turned into only 59 catches, 640 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His passer rating when targeted, 77.8. Elijah Moore can do good things. He's a quick back. I think you can utilize him well, and he's young, so he can continue to develop and get better. He's only 23 years old. He'll be 24 when the year starts, though. Even so, he's only 24. Do you know who else is 24 years old? Jerry Jeudy. All right, he'll be 25 when the next season starts. But they're exactly a year apart in age. And so you look at this, and yeah, Cooper's getting a little longer in the tooth. You have Jeudy that comes in, and they gave him the kind of money that says you are a number 2 wide receiver, and next year we want you to be a number 1 wide receiver. Now let's look and compare it to what other wide receivers are making. He's going to be making between $19 and $20 million a year. It's about $19.3 million a year. That puts him right in between Deontay Johnson and Chris Godwin. All right, other players that are making a similar amount of money as him. It was Mike Evans, not anymore, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk. You can even throw DJ Moore and T. Higgins in there. That's the kind of money he's getting. Calvin Ridley and Terry McLaurin are making more money than him, by the way. So what kind of a receiver do you think he is? Is he worth that type of money? Players that are making less than that, all right? Tell me if there's any of these players. Leave it in the comments as I read the next 10 or so players that are all making less than $19 million. All right? Christian Kirk, Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, DeAndre Hopkins. Remember, he's 32. Before you go, I want D-Hop. Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney, Alan Lazard, Jacoby Myers, Tyler Boyd. All right, Brandon Cooks, Juju Smith-Schuster. Are there any of those players that you would rather have on your roster than Jerry Jeudy? I think there's a couple. I would rather have Christian Kirk. 100% would rather have Christian Kirk. Maybe Deontay Johnson, but dude's a mental midget. That's mean to say. I don't mean it like that. I mean, when you're just not blocking on certain plays and things like that, I mean, come on. There's a reason they traded him. So anyways, when you look at it, yes, it's a lot of money, but that's what happens to wide receivers. When you have Calvin Ridley, who is suspended from the NFL, has like a year or almost 2 full years of not playing football, comes back, has a good year, similar, by the way, to Jerry Jeudy's year 2 years ago, and gets paid 4 years, like $93 million. Like, you just know the wide receiver market is absolutely nuts. So do you think this was the Cleveland Browns' best move? Here's what I'm going to say. They have done everything they can from a solid O-line, a good running game they'll always have. Now they have a significant 3 wide receivers. Everybody's in the spot they should be. Cooper's a 1, Judy's a 2, and Moore's a 3. That's where they should be. And then with Njoku at the tight end, there is no excuse, no reason Deshaun Watson shouldn't have a successful year. That's why they're putting the money up on Jerry Jeudy, because like it or not, this is your quarterback. You have to try. You must try. You have to give him the appropriate weapons, because if this can be a solid offense around Deshaun Watson, your team will be good for years to come. If this is not a good offense around Deshaun Watson, it doesn't matter. You're screwed anyway. That's just the way it goes. So, I don't know. Give me your thoughts on this. Do you still like the Jerry Jeudy signing? We talked about it the trade. We talked about the trade when it happened. We haven't talked about the $58 million. How do you feel about that? Do you think he's worth it? Let us know in the comments. And while you're doing that, hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.